What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are making biker shorts out of Nike socks. All right, so I've been wanting to make something out of Nike socks for some time now, but everybody knows Nike socks are expensive. So I had to get these at Nordstrom's Rack. I know, but I had to stay on budget, you know what I mean? Like, one of these at the Nike store is like $20, but at Nordstrom's Rack, you're gonna get this for $9.97. So right here, I bought 2 packs. There are 3 pairs of socks in each pack, which is, carry the one. Okay, so that's gonna be 12 socks in total individually. Let's get to it. I just wanted to show you the biker shorts that I am going to be using as a template. These are from Pretty Little Thing. And what I'm going to do is basically deconstruct this and then open it up, and it's going to be my pattern for making these pants. If you know how to make patterns, you probably don't need to do this, but I am a beginner and I don't trust myself. So I need to take all the precautions that I can. Stay tuned. Now what I'm going to do is cut it right here, right before the heel. And this top fabric is the main fabric that I'm going to be using for this project. I'm going to cut it on the end of the check mark. So right here where the tip is. Well, hopefully this is worth ruining a perfectly good pair of shorts. You know, there's really a lot on the line with this project. Okay guys, so I finally finished unstitching my pants, and since they are 2 symmetrical legs, I just opened up one leg and laid it out, and I'm just going to double up this pattern for the other side. So the next thing I'm gonna do is take my socks and just pretty much line them up along this pattern that I have until it fills up the space. One thing that you have to keep in mind is how this is going to sit on your body. So this front area here is where the crotch is, and I don't want to put a piece of fabric here with a check mark on it and then having to cut that check mark and then it just being like chopped in half. So I'm going to leave this area blank and just fill it in with a little bit of black fabric. And for the black fabric, I'm just going to use the end part of the sock so that it doesn't get wasted. I'm gonna use this for all the other excess areas. All right guys, so I spent time pinning these together, and then I realized that that was actually a bad idea because I'm going to have to unpin them in order to sew it together. So, pro tip.
Who does she think she is giving pro tips? She's only sewn to things in her entire life.
This fabric is very stretchy and it is a bit thick once you layer the 2 socks against each other. So what I recommend is not pulling on the fabric as you are sewing, because if you do that, the fabric is going to end up coming out all wavy and curly, and you don't want that. You want it to be laid down as flat as possible. So yeah, what I've been doing is lifting up this lever just a little bit so that the fabric can glide through more easily. And yeah, that's the pro tip of the day from somebody who's absolutely not a pro at sewing. I finished sewing all the socks together. This is what it looks like. And now what I'm gonna do is place this onto the pattern, which is this one leg of the shorts. What I did here was basically fold everything in half. And now I'm just going to cut along my blue shorts pattern so that my Nike socks fabric can match up perfectly. It's coming together. So now that we have the patterns, basically I'm just going to pin this and then sew it, and then of course we got to do all the detailing like hemming the edges and adding a band to the top. Okay guys, so I finished sewing the shorts together. This is what they ended up looking like. The back is a little bit low. My underwear is sticking out, but I'm hoping that that's going to get covered once I add the band on top. Overall, I think they turned out really well, except for just a few glitches. For example, right here, I had to add extra fabric and it just came out a little bit wrinkly. In addition, I also added this third row of checks, which I do really like how it came out, but I don't recommend adding it in the later stages. I had to basically cut and paste right here, but if you just did that in the very beginning, it would be less of a hassle. So the next part that I'm going to do is to add a waistband. I'm a little bit nervous for this step because that's the hardest part and I don't want to mess this up. I'm going to use this black shirt for the waistband because I don't want to have to sew together a bunch of little pieces of sock fabric. I would just rather use a big long piece of fabric from this shirt, so it'll just be less time consuming. By the way, I have a sty in my eye. So I don't have any elastic laying around at home, so I'm actually going to go back to these shorts and take the elastic out. These shorts fit me perfectly, so it's gonna be just like a perfect fit. And I'm going to swap it onto these shorts with the black t-shirt as the band casing. Okay, so now I have my t-shirt fabric band, which is going to be my casing for this elastic. And what I'm going to do is just take the two edges where I sewed together on each and just sew those guys together. Okay, so now that I have them together like this, all I'm going to do is basically close the elastic inside of the casing. So just going to sew the edges of the casing together so that the elastic is on the inside of it. Obviously, it's a lot smaller, so once I'm done, there's gonna be a lot of excess fabric, but that's okay because it'll be able to stretch and the fabric won't rip. Okay, so I finished my waistband. You know, not bad for my first waistband, but do better, okay? Do better than me, because this is a little bit unacceptable, but we're gonna go with it. All right, guys, so it is a little bit hard to see, but I'm just going to explain what I have marked. So I pretty much pinned the back of the waistband onto the back of the pant with the right sides facing each other. And then from there, I marked on the waistband where the other 3 points are. So you have the side points, which I have needles in. If you can see, I have a needle here and a needle here. And then in the back, I have a needle sticking out. So I have to just make sure that where the needles are meets the same place on the pant. So obviously this needle will meet this side of the pant, and then this needle will meet this side, and the back will meet the front of the pant. And another tip, so for this part, you have to make sure that you stretch as you sew. All right, guys, so I finished sewing the waistband on, and I'm honestly so scared to take this out of the machine right now. Let's just pray this is gonna come out right. Honestly, not bad, okay? I was expecting much worse. All right, oh no, the front is just not, honestly, I don't know. I'm just gonna try them on for you guys and we're just gonna find out right now. All right, guys, so this is the final product. The waistband came out a little like grungy looking and like thick. I mean, I don't hate it. I feel like with a t-shirt like this, you can't even tell. I probably won't be wearing it with any crop tops, but overall, I mean, it works. It's holding my pants up, so I'm not mad at it. And yeah, I mean, I think overall the pants came out pretty good. I actually really like them, and I'm gonna be rocking them all summer.
All my ladies, forget your purse. Beat your face up, pick your skirt. He look thirsty, quench his thirst. Spend that money up like the first. Do your worst, do your worst, do your worst, do your worst. He look thirsty,